We all have anxiety, we get nervous, we get affected by our emotions, and for some people it just is incredibly heightened.
So I'm Peg, I have a question. I watched the movie this morning, I just told you, very intense flick. So what did you kind of learn about mental illness from this experience?
Well, I learned the distinction between, I think a lot of people, when they think of schizophrenia, imagine a sort of person with multiple personalities, and that's an entirely different condition. Schizophrenia is something very different, and in order to sort of play the part of Theo, who finds himself affected by it, I did a lot of research and obviously tried to get it right.
Did you feel a responsibility in getting it right, in the fact that we do see so many films where people with a mental illness just come across as like crazy?
100%, and it says a lot about our lexicon is filled with words like, oh, they're a bit mad and they're a bit crazy, and the notion of it is bandied around as a kind of as an insult and a way of sort of marginalizing people. The first thing a lot of people do when they want to marginalize an interesting voice is say, oh, they're crazy. How many times have you heard that said about certain artists who are innovative or interesting? They go, oh, they're crazy. It's a category which people get put into, and it immediately invalidates you as a human being.
And you have been so candid and been open about talking about your own struggles and your own demons. So how did publicly talking about that help you in your own journey?
I've been able to address what I went through and find my devices for staying on top of it. And I've had a really great sort of 9 years since that all came to a head. And it's nice because the amount of people that afterwards came up and said, oh, thanks for saying that. And that made it all worthwhile,
And how do you think we can collectively move towards like finally destigmatizing it?
I think we are. I think it's becoming more and more of a topic for conversation and not seen as something which should be swept under the carpet. And also a condition which like depression, which is completely different, is often seen as like a mood. It's like, oh, cheer up, that people are starting to see that it's not as easy as that, that's not what it is.
And I think you hit a right point there. A lot of times when you think people are happy or, you're a comedian, you must love life, but really there is always something that people are struggling with.
Yeah, and the notion that, you should be happy can often make it worse. You're in a situation where, hang on, I've got all this stuff that I should be happy, and you're not. It's okay to feel like that, it's okay to feel that way, and the best way you can deal with it is to reach out to someone and talk about it.
It's okay not to be okay.
It's okay not to be okay.
And what is your advice to the people watching that perhaps aren't as candid and maybe a bit scared of talking about their own mental health? Because I feel like it is a very conversation right now.
Yeah.
It's not open.
No, it's not. It's seen as being sort of shameful. It's a hard condition in any of its multitude of forms to quantify and to describe, because there are no sort of physical symptoms, there aren't any rashes, or it's behavioral, and that's how it manifests itself. Always talk about it. Always ask for help. Always, and befriend people. The friends that you have that are in that situation, be their friend. Don't sort of like go and walk away.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Lovely to meet you.